An executive assistant makes an average of $56,000 a year in the private sector in the United States. That's not very much, but if we look at an assistant in the federal government, they can earn a lot more. I want to highlight this specific job for an executive assistant in the Veteran Affairs right now. Now, these opportunities are everywhere. It's not just the Veteran Affairs. You can find them in the Department of Justice, the Small Business Administration, the Department of Agriculture. You just need to run a search on USAJobs.gov. Now, the salary range for this position is between $132,000 and $172,000 a year, and this is at the GS-14 level. There are some jobs just like this at the GS-15 level, and they can go up over $180,000 a year. The great thing about this job announcement is that you do not need agency-specific experience. So you can look at some job positions like the Department of Justice, and you look at a job and it says, we want an individual that has experience utilizing the systems in the Department of Justice. And you wouldn't have that experience unless you worked for that agency in the past. So there are no limitations with this job. What type of experience do you need for this job? Well, you need experience assisting an executive, administrative or secretary type skills, managing a calendar, prioritizing different events, talking about weekly priorities. This experience, you could have gained it in the military or the private sector. You do not need government experience. In the past, in a previous federal agency, I worked right next to an executive assistant. So this individual was busy. People were coming up to her desk every hour of the day and they were asking, hey, does the executive have any time? Hey, what's the status with this? What do you think the executive will say about this situation? So it was very busy, it was quite hectic, but if you like dealing with administrative type tasks, if you like kind of fast-paced environments where you're going to get fairly compensated, then you might want to look at a position that's like this. So who can apply for this position? This particular job is open to veterans, Schedule A letter holders, and current or former government employees. So it's not for everybody, and this is one of the complaints I hear often from people that are trying to get into the government from the public sector. There's so many jobs that are blocked off to them. Now, if you look on USAJobs.gov, there might be, let's say, 20,000 jobs open. Half of those jobs are only for current employees or veterans. The other half, let's say 10,000, give or take a couple of thousand, those are for open to the public. So you would need to change your job filter and select open to the public when you're running your search. The job series of the position we were just looking at, the executive assistant position, that's a 0301. There are other 0301 positions that you can apply to that are open to the public. And what that will do is that will help build your experience so that eventually, a couple of years from now, you could apply and attain a GS-14 or a similar type position. So here are a few of the jobs that you could consider. The first is a staff assistant. The second is an administrative specialist. The third is a policy advisor. And once again, these type of jobs, they exist in almost every federal agency. You just need to apply. Use your experience that you have dealing with administrative type tasks, qualify, compete for these type of jobs in order to start building that experience. The truth is that a six-figure salary is a very realistic probability for the majority of individuals out there. These jobs, when it comes to the experience required, you have the experience. The problem, the main issue with all of this is the federal hiring process. It's confusing and it's not clear. Now, if you're just starting your government job search, what I would recommend to you is to use the direct hiring authority. What this will do is it'll remove some of the preference veterans from bumping you off the list. And the way that you search for these type of jobs, on USAJobs.gov, go to the search bar, type in direct hire authority. This authority also expedites the hiring process. So maybe it's not about the money for you, maybe it's not about the salary. Maybe you can earn more in the private sector. In many cases you can, and I can respect that. But there's other reasons why you would want to pursue and attain a federal government job. The first is the pension. Now, after 5 years, you're fully vested in a pension, and that will give you peace of mind and financial security as you get older, something to supplement and go along with Social Security. Another thing could be the call to service. I talk to individuals from the EPA. I talk from individuals from the Department of Labor, and they're passionate. They're energized by their mission. What they do on a day-to-day basis, they feel actually makes an impact. And that's what drives them to continue to go forward every day. Many people from all across the country, they have different skill sets, they have different experiences, and they don't know how they fit into a government job. They might have worked as a car dealer. Maybe they worked retail. They came from a military background. And what I would recommend is to first look at the administrative field. Look at 0301 and see how your skills align with that job series. If you're coming out of school, maybe you're coming out of college, or you are in your early 20s, look at 0303. That's a lower grade, but still focused on administrative skills. What you will find often is 0301 can go all the way up to GS15 and even beyond that. And then 0303, usually that caps out around GS9. If you have been stuck in the private sector, maybe you're only earning $60,000, $65,000, $70,000 a year, then I would urge you to look to at least give a glance to federal government jobs, where you could potentially earn a lot higher salary and you will have a robust benefit package to go along with it. In a government job, there's always this possibility of upward mobility. After 12 months in your grade, you are eligible for the next grade. Now, that might mean you have to get back on USA Jobs and apply to a job in your agency or in a different agency, but ultimately it'll be you that dictates when you're ready for a promotion. If you would like to learn more about the federal hiring process, I did a live stream recently where I answered over a dozen questions, including a lot of common ones that keep coming up. If you're interested in that, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.